No one has yet to claim responsibility for downing Flight 804, but there are strong suspicions about terrorism. It is not clear, though, where a possible bomb could have been planted on the jet.
In the 24 hours before the crash, the plane had flown from Eritrea to Egypt, then to Tunisia, and then back to Cairo, then on to Paris. Former CIA Deputy Director Michael Morell is a CBS News senior security contributor. He's in Washington to join us in the discussion. Michael, good morning to you.
Good morning, Gail.
It is heartbreaking to hear the details of this plane, and early on, officials in Egypt seemed to point to terrorism within the first few hours. What do you make of that so early in the game?
So I think it's too early, as Holly said, to make a definitive judgment that it was terrorism. Could be a lot of things. I think the Egyptians have an interest in this being terrorism rather than mechanical failure. I think that's what took them to their early statement. But as Holly said, we just don't know yet.
Okay, Mike, but suppose it is terrorism. What steps would lead us to that determination?
So I think there's two tracks here. One is what's going on with intelligence agencies. And there'd be two things, Charlie. One is there anybody on that flight with a link to a terrorist organization, number one? And number two, are there any conversations that are going on right now within terrorist organizations, non-public conversations where they're congratulating each other? That's one of the ways you see who is responsible. So that's on the intelligence side. On the investigatory side, it's looking at the wreckage, debris, bomb residue, that black box that could tell you what brought down the aircraft.
And Mike, looking in terms of the investigation, looking back to Charles de Gaulle in Paris, in the last year, some 70 workers at the airport have been dismissed or had their security clearance revoked because in part of links to terrorist groups. It's not just really the passengers then that we need to be concerned in this day and age.
Absolutely correct. Over 2,000 West Europeans have gone to Syria and Iraq to fight for ISIS who have now come home. They're going to get jobs. They're going to get jobs in sensitive places. So one of the things that has to happen is extensive vetting of individuals who are in a position to do damage. And airport workers are on that list.
Okay, vetting would be one determination if a bomb was placed at the Paris airport. What else are the implications if, in fact, it happened?
So I think a bomb being placed on an aircraft in a modern European city with extensive security precautions, best security in the world, right? That really says something about the operational capability of the group that did this, right? And there's really two possibilities. ISIS, of course, and Al-Qaeda in Yemen, which has focused on aircraft for a long time, which was responsible for the Charlie Hebdo attack. So two groups to look at in terms of responsibility.
Thank you so much, Mike.